Connor, I've been playing Stray.
Yeah.
I beat it today.
Oh, okay.
Took me, my game clock said 6.5 hours, but there was a trophy to lay down, take a nap, and let the cat take a nap for one real in-game hour. So it really only took me 5.5 hours to beat the game.
That's funny.
Stray is fine. It's okay. It's good. I believe it's look up the price for me real quick. I believe it's $25, something like that, $25-$30. And you know, I never at any point was having a bad time when I was playing Stray, but whenever I put the controller down, I never felt inclined to go back to it.
I'm seeing $40.
$40? Okay, it was probably that then. Which, to be fair, $40, or it's also available with PlayStation Plus Extra. So the extra, whatever that is, $5 a month for the extra tier to play it for free, which I think is probably the best way to experience this game is through that service.
Yeah.
Out the gate, let me start with the positives. Playing as the cat is nice.
Good. That's what you were going for.
It feels good. Fluidity moving through the world, traversal through the world feels good. They have sort of this like magnetic jumping thing happening on, so it's not actually platforming. It's look at a thing, press X, now you're on the thing, as opposed to like actually like making jumps. But it always feels good. They do a lot of like quick shortcuts that people who are new to gaming can pick up on quickly, where it's like, instead of pressing X for every single jump, just hold X and push in a direction, and the cat will make the 3 jumps forward or so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world is beautiful, really well realized. I don't think the fidelity of some of the character models and stuff are all that great. Like, I don't think the cat itself looks phenomenal, but it looks good. It's passable.
Yeah. It's a smaller team, right?
Yeah, it's a smaller team, so I'm not expecting it to look like The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
I guess the best way I would describe this game is all of the slower parts of a Naughty Dog game.
Oh, okay.
Where you're walking around, you're picking up notes, you're picking up little items and toys and things, and all of that environmental storytelling. That's this game. Broken up with occasional puzzle sequences and chase sequences. You'll see later. There are these like little like head crabs from think the head crabs from Half-Life.
Yeah.
Pretty much those, but like real tiny, like they could fit in the palm of your hand. Those things, like, they come in swarms and they chase you, and like they'll like attach to you and like suck your life away and kill you and stuff. So those chase sequences are pretty simple, pretty basic, but they're fun and they're thrilling enough. This is what I'm showing right now in the gameplay is sort of like an open world hub sequence, very small hub, like a city block. There are a few of these spread throughout the game. This is the first one, and the one where you'll spend probably the most amount of time in which you'll walk around, you'll talk to NPCs, you'll kind of discover little small side quests and things to where you can complete little smaller objectives which have no bearing on the overall story, but they're fun little things, and some of them are pretty heartwarming and heartfelt, and you'll be like, oh, look at him now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, overall, man, like, it's a quality game. It's a good game. It's just, I don't think it has any staying power. And I don't think its narrative and its story delivered any type of emotional punch that is going to keep it in my mind for much longer. I'll say, though, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Quick 5 to 7 hours of gameplay. Yeah, that's good. That's solid, depending on, how much time you want to spend in these hub worlds. Yeah. There's no map in these hub worlds, so it's easy to get lost because you're small. You're just a little cat, so like it's easy to get lost. But like, the hub worlds are small enough to where like you can kind of start figuring your way around pretty easily. You'll find certain landmarks and be like, okay, if I'm here, that means if I turn right, I get to this guy who sells an electric cable or something, which I can use for this quest or whatever. It's just kind of like sort of things that you can do and so forth. The story, you are in, you've got like a little litter of cats that you hang out with. you get separated from them, and you fall into this world of robots. And all the humans have died from the head crabs, and the robots are the only thing sentient. But the head crabs have evolved to a point to where they start hunting the robots too. So like, you're just kind of traveling between little civilizations of robots who are just hanging out and living their lives and so forth. And you'll talk to them. There is no voice acting in the game, which I think is a huge miss. I would have really liked that, and I think it would have kept my attention a whole lot better, and I think it would have led to some of these storylines having greater impact if there was some voices we can hear. You have a little robot buddy who's inside, I'm going to call him Stray's little vest that he's wearing, and the little robot comes up and picks up items for you and, stores them in the in-game inventory, and then you pull them out when necessary, and he's also... you're not talking to the robot. Your little robot buddy is talking to the robot. And this also leads to sort of another smaller critique that I have with this game, and it's why I think its narrative doesn't hit the way it should. I guess it's worth saying I'm not a cat person, and I think being a cat person and having a cat as a pet would help with this.
I imagine so.
I don't feel like this cat gives a singular fuck about anything that's going on. And when the narrative then tries to tell me that the cat cares, I don't believe it.
It's a cat.
It's a cat, dude.
It doesn't know what's saying. It doesn't know what's being said.
Literally. Yeah. Like, even the moment when you get separated from your other cat friends, they see you get separated, and they're just kind of looking at you. They're just kind of like... And that's it. Yep. Like, that's it as you're falling or whatever. There are no real stakes placed upon the cat. I don't feel like the cat wants to get back to his friends, which is what the game tells you he wants to do, but I don't believe it. And it's just a lot of, I feel like it's just a lot of like telling. It's a lot of telling and not a lot of showing. It's a lot of telling that these characters are sad. It's a lot of telling that the cat wants to get back home. It's a lot of telling that the cat, wants to do this or is scared of this or that. But I never feel once that the cat has any urgency to do these things or feel these things. Literally, sitting here napping, that's a peaceful-ass cat right there. Yeah. You're going to tell me this cat cares where he's at right now? No, man, he's cool hanging out with the robots, man. He'll hang out with the robots for the rest of his life for all he cares. But I guess that's where my main critique lies, is I really just don't feel like the narrative or the game has any real staying power or punch to it. Like, the puzzles are simple, which is nice because I imagine this game is actually being marketed to people who aren't that familiar with video games, which is why the control scheme is so simple. It's why the cat is just a cat. There's nothing special about the cat. It doesn't do anything. It's just a cat.
Which is a question I have because does it seem like they really just had the idea, but the execution just kind of came as an afterthought?
I think they executed, in terms of the gameplay, I think they executed exactly on what they wanted. They wanted to make a cat simulator, the most accurate cat simulator to date. Usually when you get games like this, they're little quirky indie games or whatever. And I think this is a very high budget cat simulator. And in that, I think they do a really, really good job of that. The cat is animated beautifully. It's got a cat personality. It's a cat. Yeah. I believe it in every sense. It never breaks the illusion of not being a cat. Like in a way that a lot of like dog simulator or parent simulator or whatever.
They usually go some weird way.
In that sort of Octodad way where they're quirky and they break kind of easily or cartoonish or anyway. I never feel that here. I just don't believe there's even moments where like you can run up, like you're seeing right now, you run up to like a wooden post and scratch it to sharpen your claws and stuff like that. Like and take a nap. There are moments where you can drink water. And, you pick up things with your mouth and run them around. When you jump on a stack of books, and then when you jump off, the stack of books falls over. It's all the cat things. You're running around, you're hopping around on shelves and ledges, and you're knocking cans of paint off of shelves and stuff and making a mess and pissing people off. It's a cat. It is Cat the video game, in which I applaud because you went out with an objective and you succeeded upon that. Me as a gamer, I need something more mechanically dense than this. This is this is damn near a walking simulator, but a cat.
But not too bad of one.
I don't know. It's quality.
Yeah.
It's quality. Don't get me wrong. There's quality here. I don't regret spending my $40 on this game.
Doesn't sound like you did.
You know? And I'll also say this. It's got a great trophy list. It's got a great trophy list. You can get you're not going to get it in one playthrough because one trophy requires a playthrough under 2 hours. But you can get every other trophy in your first playthrough. I damn near did. And I'm gonna go back when you leave, Connor. I'm gonna go back and polish off a couple more trophies before I move on to play something else real quick. I plan on platinuming this game just because it's easy, and most of the work is done. It's just that when we leave the month of July, I don't know if I'll ever think about Stray ever again. Other than when we do our end of the year top 10 list. And, then I'll have to reconsider this game and see if it even lands on that list. Who knows? But
a lot of good games this year.
Huh?
A lot of good games this year.
A lot of good games this year, surprisingly, because I wasn't so sure about it at the beginning of the year. And, I wouldn't be surprised if this game lands in top 10, but it's going to be in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now. And its narrative is cute and fun, and it does have quite a bit of heart to it. But when we get to the sort of the bigger emotional beats near the end, I sort of feel the emotions they want me to feel, but I don't all the way feel. Like, there's clearly moments where they want you to cry, and I'm not even close to shedding a tear. There are clearly moments where they want you to laugh, and at best you're getting a chuckle. It just doesn't have the amount of punch that I wish it had. And I've seen examples of this game do it better. Less of like the cat simulator, but of that we're narrative focused. You're picking up notes. You're like the Gone Homes of the world, the Journeys of the world, the Telltale games of the world. This one I think is in the middle. Where it's just kind of middling. Where that was an experience where I played as a cat, and if there's a cat person out there, I'd recommend this game to them. But if you're not into these types of games, don't play this game, because this game is fine. It's fine. It's fine. If you have a girlfriend, sure, put the controller in your girlfriend's hand. She can run around and play as a cat, and it's a cute cat. But there's also I would have liked some type of customization, some types of characterization, some type of thing to make it my cat. You play as this one orange cat. And that's it. There's no choice. There's even in the beginning of the game, you're with a group of cats, and it'd be like, oh, which one do you want to play as? No, you're playing as this one. You can't, the little vest he has, you can't change that in any way. It's just the vest, These are just kind of small things that would have, I'm not saying they're needed in this game. These are things that I would have appreciated, which would have made me feel more attached to the cat, to make some of these emotional beats that you want me to feel, make it easier for me to feel. Because it's not my cat, it's a cat, It's the cat. It's not my cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just hard for me to kind of connect with it in this way. And I was shocked when I saw the reviews for all this. It was a lot of 5 out of 5s, a lot of 8 out of 10s. This is a solid 6, maybe. We don't really do review scores here, but it's fine. It's a fine game. Again, it controls well, which I'll give it that. There's a lot of games like this that don't control well. This game controls very, very well, and I really like it. There's a lot of really cute little moments that happen in the game. For example, there are a few moments where you'll find a small little brown paper bag, just a little trash, a little doggy bag, or whatever. And you'll run up to it, you'll get a button prompt, you'll click the button, and the cat will put the bag on its head because it is searching through the bag, and then lifts up, and and the bag is on its head. So now the cat can't see. You can see because it's a third-person game.
Yeah.
But to kind of make that connection between player and character, they reverse your controls.
Of course, yeah.
So now you're you push forward and the cat moves backwards. It's just a cute little moment of all right, that's funny, that's cute. That was nice. There's later segments where you can like jump into boxes and just hang out in a box, in a cardboard box, like a cat does. And I'm like, this is cute. I like this. Bunch of moments where you can take a nap or drink some water. Every single time I go, isn't that cute? That's cute. The chase sequences are fun. The puzzles do make me go. I do sit back on a lot of puzzles and go, how does this work? Oh, it's like this. Oh, okay, cool. But it's never a moment where I feel like a genius. I never feel smart after completing a puzzle. I'm always like, I did it. I'm like, what is it? Oh, it's this. Okay, cool. And sometimes I'll say, I don't think these puzzles are super well designed because sometimes I solve them before I even know they're puzzles.
Oh, yeah. You just explore the world and do things in the world and then just solve the puzzles
Literally, there's a thing where there's two guys tossing a paint can back and forth on top of the rooftop. And then below them is a laundromat store that you need to get into, but the store owner won't let you in. And so I'm just going to spoil it here. The objective is to get the guys to drop their can of paint so that the store owner then goes in and yells at those guys so you can get in the store. I didn't know the store was underneath them. I just saw them interacting, and I went up and I interacted with them, and then they dropped the can of paint, and it fell, and the dude started cleaning paint. And I was like, that's weird. And then it was later when I watched, when I looked online, and I was like, oh, that's why you did that. Okay, didn't know that. It's a lot of moments like that. There's a moment early on where you stop a fan with a bucket, and it's supposed to be a moment of like, damn, I can't progress. Where do I go? How do I do this? Oh, there's a bucket. Maybe if I put the No, I had the bucket in my mouth already. Like, I was already holding the bucket, and so, like, I got to the fan, and I just dropped the fan in the... All right, I got to the fan, I dropped the bucket, and the bucket stopped the fan. And I went, oh, okay. It's a lot of things like that, where I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there are moments where, like, I go, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because I don't think the direction of the game is that superb. Sometimes I just get a little lost, and I go, I don't know where I'm going.
Yep, just
Sometimes.
lost in the ether.
This is not a game you can pick up, put down, and then wait 2 weeks and pick it back up again. In terms of controls, you're always going to know what you're doing. But in terms of objective, you're not. In terms of what is your inventory, what are you looking for, what's happening, you have no idea what is. You'll get lost immediately. Like, if you're going to play this game, you spend the weekend and play it. Like, do not put it down. And I sound so negative. This game is good. It's a good game. It's just not... I don't think it's very memorable, you know?
Some games aren't. Some games are just good and you enjoy them as an experience.
And that's my thing, is does it have to be memorable? Does it have to make me cry? Does it have to make me bust gut laughing? I guess not. The game wants me to be a cat. So I'll spend 5.5 hours and be a cat.
Just don't regret your purchase, and I think you have a win.
And you know what? I didn't regret my purchase. So I guess we have a win here. I'm just confused because I saw all these reviews hit the internet, and it's really high scores and really high praise. Congratulations on the team for achieving that, but I don't feel connected to this game in that way. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a bad game by any means. I think it's a really good game, or I think it's a good game, and I think it's a quality. And I think if you're interested, you should give it a chance and play it, especially because it's only $40 or on PlayStation Plus Extra. If you have that, use it, you know?
Yeah.
If you have extra $40, this isn't a bad way to spend $40. I just think maybe it's just that it's just not my game. Like, I just truly wish there was more fun to be had here. And there's a lot of, like, one-off sequences in this game in which they'll introduce a mechanic, but it's only for this moment. And then once you're out of that moment, never do it again. You know? There's stealth sequences in a very small portion of the game. There's a sequence where you can defend yourself from the head crabs, but it's only in a very small sequence in the game. There's just a lot of mechanics like that come in and go and leave just as quickly as they got there. And I go, oh, okay, well, I would have liked to have built to some... It was kind of like my critique of It Takes Two, where It Takes Two is 7 games in one, but because they have to introduce a new mechanic to you every level, none of the puzzle solving can build on itself, so every puzzle is the same level of difficulty. Like, I never feel smart because I've solved this puzzle already.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel the exact same way here, where, like, I never felt smart because your puzzles are meant to be super easy and solvable. Like, I never scratch my head. Sometimes sometimes I wish I could even see the puzzle before I solve it. You know what I'm saying? But again, moving throughout the world, interacting with the characters, the way that the world is fully developed and realized, and that's all great and well done. It's really pretty to look at and run through and explore. Exploring is a lot of fun. I liked doing all the side stuff more than I liked doing the main stuff. So, you know, hats off for making the best cat simulator ever. But at the end of the day, this is just a cat simulator.
Well, I didn't have much interest in playing this, and I guess that kind of nips it in the bud for me as well.
Yeah, this is not a game I would recommend to you.
Yeah. I didn't think it would have been anyway, but yeah.
No, but it's a game that, like, potentially, or had the potential to really strike a chord with me. And it just kind of didn't here.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my time, and I thought it was a good experience. I just wasn't in love with it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our Two Penny Games Cast episode 105. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Remember, you can get us every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast. And you can watch us play video games live over at twitch.tv/2pennygames. I played some Stray live on twitch.tv/2penny. You can see me play around in it for 2 hours on youtube.com/2pennygamescast right now, because I uploaded the VOD of that stream just for shits and giggles. But until next time, have a great time. And Connor, say goodbye to the people.
See ya.